word alone can be challenging. How do we get started? Where will the change lead? Don't sit there and worry about it. Be the change. Welcome to Be the Change Radio. Host Kristina Bloom has been a professional psychic and spiritual advisor for 20 years, offering psychic and mediumship readings for individuals and groups. She also teaches several classes in psychic development and metaphysics. In addition, she is an author who has published 2 books so far and is the co-owner of Moonbow Publications and Productions, LLC. Are you ready for that change now? Here is your host of Be the Change Radio, Kristina Bloom.
Hey everybody, how are you doing? Welcome back to Be the Change Radio. I'm your host, Kristina Bloom, and you are listening to us on WLTK-DB.com. Let's Talk Radio. I'm glad you're here tonight. We have a very special guest. We're actually going long tonight. We're going 90 minutes instead of 60 minutes tonight. So Lynda Hope will be with us shortly. In the meantime, I just wanted to let you know that I'm still scheduling classes and events. I have one class that's coming up in July so far. That's July 15th. I'm teaching an astral traveling class. So if you'd like to learn how to astral travel and go do some fun stuff with us, you can find that on meetup.com/OneSpiritConnection. I will actually have that posted by tomorrow. So that will be on there. And then August 21st, I believe it is, I am doing a tea leaf reading party. It's August 20th, sorry. A tea leaf reading party where I will not only be reading tea leaves, I will also be teaching you how to read tea leaves. And that's a live event in Racine, Wisconsin at Social on 6th. We are getting that information together this week so that you can have a chance to sign up for that. So I'm excited about that too. That's something I haven't done in a while, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I wanted to let you know also that I am available for private readings, either over the internet, chat room, or out by phone. I'm available for psychic readings, past life readings, soul retrievals. There's a lot of things that I do. You can check it all out on my website at KristinaBloom.com. That's Kristina with a K. So tonight we have all of this amazing stuff going on. I met the most amazing woman just last week, actually. We were both at the same party and it was a really good time, but we talked and talked and talked. And she has a children's show. She has a school that she's opening up. Hi, Robin. Thanks for checking in. It's good to see you. I'm glad you had a chance to listen. She's got so much stuff going on. She has her own podcast, which is really cool too. And we're going to be talking about so much stuff tonight. There's so much to talk about. Between what she does and what I do, there's just a lot. So I'm really excited about that. So you know what? I'm just going to bring her out right away because there's too much to cover. Hi, Lynda.
Hi, Kristina.
How are you?
Great. And it's funny. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I think it's so funny. We're supposed to be human beings, but we're human doers a lot, aren't we?
We are. Yeah, we sure are.
That's right.
Definitely. You know, it's like people always tell me, God, you work so hard. You do so many things. I'm like, you got to meet Lynda. Lynda makes me look like I'm sleeping. Like she's got all this stuff going on.
You know, and it's funny because I think of it as not really anything's going on. That's the joke. That's the real funny thing because we're living in duality in the doing of stuff, right? But in the essence of who we are, which is really what I love to talk about mostly, is the stillness and the quiet of the essential being that we are. That's where our essential being is what is the divine within all of us that is not doing anything. It's just being in this beautiful, harmonious flow of spirit, right?
How cool is that?
Yeah.
I love it when I'm there. I have to admit, lately I've not been there.
And you know what? We're already there, and that's the you know. It's I always think of this as God's joke. It's like God puts it right in front of our face, and we miss it,
right?
You know, and it is this knowing about that I think adds so much value to the rest of our existence, because to know initially we are existence, we're eternal, and we're already in this divine place of awareness that we exist, and I when I discuss this with our Sharon Berkowitz, we do this all one show, and it is from a place of the true nature of who we are, and that we're all that, and we're already born that way. And then, but I think it's good to use a baby as an example of it.
Okay.
Right? Because a baby comes into this world and they just look at their fingers and go, "Ooh."
Right.
I
remember that with my grandson when he was just like,
right? We don't know
what's this thing. Yeah,
we don't know what to call that. We don't even know who we are. We don't even know who's smiling at us.
Right.
We have no clue. Well, all we know is that it's amazing, and it takes our breath away, and we don't even know any of this, right? And it's like this divine sense of awareness that things are moving and color. I don't think even we see in color, right? We see in black and white, but whatever we're seeing, whatever we're feeling is all new, and it's in the moment, and it's awe-inspiring, right? And then, so that is the knowing that we came, or we are existence. And then somebody names us and they go, "Hey, hey, Lynda, hey, Kristina, hey, this is, you're a boy, you're a girl, this is how you behave, this is how you don't behave, and this is what you eat, and this is how you sleep, and this is, we change your diapers." And then you start having a social conscience, and then you start regulating yourself, right? And fitting into a mold and believing a certain way, and And then you get this thing called a patterning of behavior. And that is all stuff we continue to play out in believing our identity, right? It starts to
until
form.
we choose not to. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we see this ego like imposing itself, and you're going, and then you say, "Wow, that I didn't say the nice thing at all. That was not nice of me. And why do I not like this person? What's going on in my victim place? And why am I feeling victimized?" But, I also think of that as like, if you're not aware, then it all goes back to awareness, right? If you're not aware, you're playing the victim. You're going to continue to play the victim lifetime after lifetime.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
for sure. I realized like after our party last week, I was just I felt like I was back with my people. You know what I mean? Like I have been just kind of with the move and everything. We've been moving for a month. So it's been a long drawn out thing, and I've really kind of just felt like I've lost touch with my community. So it was really great to go there and meet more members of my community, and meeting you and Susie, and I can't remember her name. I know Sam, but there's another lady who was there, and I can't remember her name. What was her name? Anyway, Marsha.
Yeah.
She had such wonderful energy too.
Oh, beautiful,
Soft energy. And it was just so much fun just to hang out and talk with you guys about aliens and Bigfoot and the clouds and the dragons. And it was just like a breath of fresh air for me.
Yeah.
And so
then you channeled a Palladian. Oh, wow. When we asked
that was fun.
That was fun. And my daughter, when I told her that, she goes, "I have to meet her."
Awesome.
I have to meet her. She was like,
I am totally up for that. I'm sorry I can't make it on the 9th.
Yeah. We have our greenhouse thing.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited to talk to you about, the journey, right? We're all on this journey.
Yeah. So tell me about value you.
Value you. Well, the value you side came from just experience. You know how we are with our experience. You live so long and you have a lot of experience. And you have a lot of relationships that wake you up that say, what's going on here? Why am I getting my buttons pushed all the time?
Yeah.
And then you run into people who feel they have to be validated all the time because there's low self-esteem. And then I realized, being having the opportunity of being a chaplain in the hospital and being a cantor and working with people and couples and things like that, I see a lot of people suffering from low self-esteem, which is really, what does that mean? That you're not feeling valued, right? So,
Right.
but where's the value going to come from? It can't come from out there, because if it
Right.
comes from out there, there's no amount of value that's going to be thrusted upon you that's going to fill up that hole.
No,
That
absolutely not.
hole that you feel, I want more, give me more, because, I'm sorry, you're too needy. I'm
Yeah.
not going to give it to
That's
you.
exhausting, isn't it? Like, to be on the outside of that, that's exhausting. And
It is.
can I just take a squirrel moment here? I'm having like a little squirrel moment because Robin gave me a gift years ago. Thank
Okay.
you, Robin. And here it is, hanging in my office yet today. I just
Oh.
wanted to show her that because I was so touched when she gave it to me. And it has to have been like 15 years.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Does it say anything about loving yourself on there?
It's the
I'm
chakra system, so I would
There you
imagine yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's the self-love, the self-lining up of your chakras, is really something, right? It's giving yourself
Yeah.
permission to forgive yourself, to love yourself, to know that you are just perfect in your way of expression. You are unique and precious and lovable and loving. And it's more than just giving yourself affirmations every day, which is
Right.
part of it. But the way we do the value you is, we sit in, I chant in Hebrew, and I do a guided meditation because, as you know, music is very vibrational, and the Hebrew letters are very vibrational. So they elevate that intention as you're listening, and it's the ability to chant along with me. And so we offer that option too. And every day is another. And sometimes you can use the one day for the whole week and use that, or you can do the 21 days.
Now, is this all on your website, like pre-recorded on your website?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. So that's value
Yeah.
dash the letter U.com. That's
Right.
awesome.
I guess that's considered a hyphen. Yeah. Dash.
Yeah.
Letter U.com. And it's 21 days. It's free. And we just want you to
Yeah.
enjoy it and, and be, just be open to because the Hebrew, we don't expect you to know the translation. I mean, I just chant. It's sort of like, think of it as a vibrational energy that you're feeling into, and that it'll be translated, I'll translate in English too.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So she got 4 websites. So hang tight, people. All right. We got creativitystory.com. Tell us about that.
Yes. Well, that creativity has been the desire to bring creativity into the world began very early in my life because my mother was an artist and my father was an attorney, but he was very creative and they loved to dance. So I think I looked at creativity as not just the arts, but a way of creative thinking, creative living, enjoying the moment, right?
Right.
Being in the moment, which when you create, you're in this peak experience, they call it, where there's no time. You're engaged in it. And I can remember painting and time goes, wait is it? I thought it was, 3 hours earlier. And so the moment, see, that sort of led me to here because as a meditator, you're sort of in the same experience, right? You're in the moment, receiving the inspiration moment to moment to moment. So either you're painting or you're, even basketball players, right? They're in the moment, they're making that shot and they're in the zone and they're going at, right? Or mountain climbers will say, if I wasn't focused in that moment, I would fall. it's the laser focus of awareness. So that's when I say we are consciousness. We are aware first and foremost. And as awareness, we're in that beautiful knowing of creation, because we know we're created by a God who created us, and we have to be creative. I mean, there's nothing we can do about that.
Right. It's a creative world, and everything has been created, from the TV I'm looking at to the desk I'm sitting at. Somebody thought of it first and then created it. I get into that zone when I write. When I'm writing, that's where I go. Boom, right to that zone.
And so it started very young when I saw the kids were, the arts and music were taken away in the schools. There wasn't a lot of expression. And as an artist, going through that, I said, well, let's show the importance of what creativity can do. So even back in the 80s, when I created these role models, these characters, which are on my creativitystory.com site, these characters are role models for children. So I created a character called Creativity. I created a character called Courage, a character called Hope, and also Fear and Anxiety and Hate. And these characters, and more of them, like 21 characters, and these characters are deliberately created because from research that I back in the 80s, where I said, what makes somebody creative, what diminishes it and what enhances it, and anxiety and fear will destroy it, right?
Absolutely.
But courage, you need courage to be creative, because there was a book called Courage to Create by Rollo May, right? So that's where the brainstorm came out. Like, wow, we need courage there to help creativity move forward and express in a way that is authentic and so on. And so then there's hope, and then there's love and joy. And we know those are very high vibrational feelings. When you're in the joy, when you're in your true self, which is all joy and love, and you're just coming from that place, you're in total flow of the universe. You're just total in that oneness of creation. And there's no duality there. There's only oneness, right? Of source energy flowing through you into whatever is coming out of your body mind experience.
That's great. I completely agree with you. I do want to touch on how we can help people, or give people maybe some tips on when you're feeling like you're stuck creatively. What do you suggest to people when they feel like they're stuck creatively?
Take a break.
That's a big one. Because if you're pushing it too hard, you're going to block.
If you're forcing it, it won't work. But if you're being inspired, because when I was creating the illustrations for the book Jackie and Creativity Go to School, which is my children's book, if I was not in the mood or in the zone of creating that illustration, it would come out very stiff, and it wouldn't be, So what is good to do when you're in the block is to obviously to stop, take a breath, close your eyes, be quiet, be still, and take a walk in nature. Again, tune yourself in, get yourself tuned into allowing the experience to be coming through you, instead of getting your ego in the way to say, oh, that's wrong, that's right, making judgment calls. Because if you're
judgment will stop it.
Yeah, it'll stop right away.
Judgment will stop it dead right there. Yeah.
You put a word down, you go, oh, that's not good. And then
yeah. So many papers on the floor some days. So I'd like to share something that I have found works for me. Okay. When it comes to drawing or that kind of thing, I'm not really artistic. I mean, like, everybody's an artist, right? So you doodle, you're an artist, and that's cool. But that's what I do when I get stuck with the writing. I doodle. I draw something, because it flips the script. It opens my mind
Good.
away from the frustration and the block, I'll do something different. I'll sing, which trust me, nobody wants to hear, but
Good.
it doesn't stop me from doing it. You
Good.
know,
Yes.
I'll
Yes.
play my
Put
drum,
on
I'll play
music
my
and
flute,
dance.
yeah,
Yeah.
do something that's not exactly that same thing
Good.
to
Good.
open up different channels. And that can really just start the juices flowing again.
Yes. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, I love dancing, it's static dancing, how that is. You just put
Yeah.
it on and you just flow with it. And you can also just sit down, there's an organization I joined that just sits and writes. They just sit
Yeah.
and write. They just write and write and write and write and write. And not that you're inspired, but all of a sudden, just to put your pen to the pen to the paper
Yeah.
and just write whatever comes to mind and allow it just to be even nonsensical
Hmm.
because it doesn't have to make sense.
No, it doesn't. It just has to be get out of you.
Just
Yeah.
put it out there like a journal. Some people journal. I have a friend that journals every night. Just nothing much, but just enough to say, this is how I felt. This is blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
it is a kind of, it's therapy in a way too, when you consider
Hmm.
this, but it's also problem solving because
Yeah.
creativity is not just about the arts. It's about how do I find solutions to things that I may not have found solutions for before.
Right.
And in this day and age where there's a lot of uncertainty, frankly, there's a lot of people, there's no real foundation for anything like this. There was no past experience about this, right? So we have nothing to
Right.
draw from. And we don't really have any role models to
That's a fact. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
advise us about that. And I think, Kristina, I think it's a good thing for many
Yeah.
reasons because instead of looking outside yourself for the answers, they're all here.
They are.
They're
They
all
are.
in here. And I love this expression. You can't get to the problem from the problem.
Yeah.
You can only get to the problem. You can only do it from the solution, which is
Yeah.
meaning, like we're saying with creativity, raise the energy level to a higher vibration of joy and happiness that allows the solutions to be seen, to
Yeah.
to evolve, and to be shown to you because it's there. You said, "Oh wow, I didn't notice that before." Well, guess what? You woke up and you noticed it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are so many things that we can do creatively, but I feel like a lot of people haven't, I don't know how to say this, maybe outgrown their programming.
It is programming. Yeah.
When we haven't outgrown our programming, it's very difficult to get into that creative space.
Yes, you do have to think outside the box.
Absolutely.
And that's what our creativity series is doing. We have a thing on Roku called It's Time for Creativity. I'd love to share that with you. Can I share that?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Let's see
Perfect.
that.
Yeah, I'll show the intro. It's so much fun.
That is
And
the key, isn't it, to have fun?
it's all about fun. My producer
Yeah.
and I just have the best time. Anytime we go on anywhere, we're just having the best time. Well, there I am. I play a fairy. I play the Hope Fairy in all my shows. This is actually, I'll come back to that one, but this is Time for Creativity. And if it's too loud for you, let me lower this a little bit now so you don't get blown
Yeah,
away.
thank you.
Is that okay?
On me, and I'll be there to free your thoughts and feel the
Little stall.
That
We're
happens
on the
sometimes.
flow. Creativity is not the flow.
And then technology.
Here we go. Let's start over here again.
What time is it? It's time for creativity. On me, and I'll be there to free your thoughts and feel the
Oh,
Was good before. Okay. Let's go buy this one. All right. All right. This may not. Let's try it one
What time
more
is it?
time.
It's time for creativity. On me, and I'll be there to free your thoughts
Okay.
and feel the
All right. We'll come back unless it's okay. Give it a second.
yeah.
See, that's what it is about not pushing anything and allowing whatever is to
be.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's my daughter, by the way, in the costume.
Sweet.
She's so sweet with that. Yep. So we're going to go on to another one, but I'll come back to that one. We'll see how that is. So we did an adult series based on my characters too, and this is really we decided creatively to come up with what does life look like if we add some humor to it and we laugh at it and we don't take it seriously. And we have WFAK-TV, fake TV, and we talk about, fear and anxiety, which are my characters, and we have them included in our show. And we created all these other characters to show what's the problem with Thanksgiving. Well, we know we couldn't go to families' homes and we couldn't do this, we couldn't do that. But guess what? The fairy.
I hear music and there's no one there. Jack and little Jack. So wonderful to hear from you.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
This is Jackie, who
you want me to tell you about
is afraid of his mother, and he's on fake TV.
How do you know that?
Okay.
You're still dreaming.
I'm dreaming?
Yes. And you're believing your fear. Listen to me now, Jack and little Jack. You are believing that fear is real. Fear's not real. No. Fear's not real. And man is not evil. No, man's not evil. Do you know what evil is spelled backwards? What is it spelled backwards, Jack?
Live?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Don't listen to your fear and live. So simple. Don't listen to your fear and live. Okay?
Okay.
That's a simple message, right? I mean, we don't want to listen to our fear and live. And that's the reason why we're doing this, because we really want to show our, we have fear here, we have anxiety here, and we're talking to those characters, right? And we're saying, oh, I see you fear, I see you anxiety, but I choose not to engage with you. And this is how we don't engage with you. We go like this. And we do things that are good for children to realize too, that they don't have to engage in it. They can feel it, but they can choose to separate themselves from the drama of it. And that's very helpful. We work with the social workers and psychiatrists to talk to us about how do we communicate that concept to kids and adults in ways that are healthy. So it has a lot of different levels of understanding, but the creativity in itself is a start with courage, and they go about creating an amazing world. And then when those guys come along, hope and joy and happy, and they all jump in to help. So we're having a good time with all the things we're doing.
That sounds amazing. Sounds amazing. As you were talking about anxiety, I have 2 kids who are in their 20s, and them and all of their friends are constantly talking about my anxiety. And I'm like, stop owning it.
That's right. It's mine.
Don't say my anxiety. Stop owning it, because the more you own it, the more of it you have.
Yeah.
So why not switch out anxiety for love or joy or happiness or ecstatic or whatever, amazing, whatever, pick a different word,
right,
and stop focusing on it. And I'm not saying that that's going to necessarily make it all go away, but it will stop making it bigger. It'll stop making it your whole life.
That's right. That's right. It is. It's so clear, because whatever we attach ourselves to is what becomes our reality. It becomes like our story. It's very much like when we have our identity involved, right? Our ego mind, it makes, like you say, mine. This is mine, territorial, my car, my house, my goods, my daughters. Even daughters are possessions. I have 2 daughters. I look at it as the I am that I am, the I, the big I,
Yeah.
presence of creator, I am consciousness is really the I that is the consciousness that is aware but not attached to that smaller I of ego, right? It's also consciousness. The person is conscious too, but it's a very limited way of living life.
It really is. It really is. You know, it's service is such a bigger life.
Yeah.
You know, service is such a bigger life. And I don't, if people don't get that, they're not going to get it. You know what I mean? It's like you either get it or you don't. But service is such a big part of life. I mean, it makes my life so much bigger and so much happier and so much more adventurous and so much, you know, because I'm reaching out and I'm helping people and I'm being of service, and so are you. And when you're doing that, there's no I.
No.
There's no I. You just,
well, you're not limited to the ego mind that's playing the duality of, well, I'm right, you're wrong. You know, I have an opinion that's better than your opinion. I think the world is a perfect place to really see all that, because as I was talking to my friend today, you know, in a way, you know, you've got all these, the trial, right, that came up, abortion, and people are having a fit over that. They really are claiming sides. We're claiming sides, right? We're saying, I'm opposed to that. I'm for that. I'm going to pick it. I'm going to be, right? We're going to pick sides. How about not picking sides? How about not picking sides and saying, you know what? The Buddhists say it is what it is, right? It is what it is. It is appearing to us to show us contrast and to say everyone has a different opinion. Everybody's valued everybody should be valued for their opinion, right? And because they are unique, they're individual, but are they benefiting? Is it in alignment to the greater good? Is it in alignment to the greater good? And I may have a personal take on it, but I'm not going to force my opinion on anybody on that. I'm going to say, I really feel that it's all offered for us to learn lessons from it. But if we get our personal out of the way and get our, you know, taking everything so personal is not a good thing.
Right.
It isn't. I mean, we can have an opinion, but we don't have to force it on anybody. And we can just say, you know what? I see what you're saying. I can see that. I may not agree with you, but I see that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. We are, I think, going to take a quick break. And we'll be back to talk about your other two websites.
Okay. All right.
Brandon Wainwright, author of Tyson's Gift, How an 8-Pound Canine Became a Man's Greatest Spiritual Guide, and owner of Tyson's Gift Healing Arts, offers Reiki as well as color and sound modalities to anyone seeking physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual healing. While color and sound healing, a technique that brings balance and health to one's chakras and body, must be provided in person. Reiki, a Japanese form of energy healing, can be given in person or equally effectively from a distance. For more information or to make an appointment for a session, please visit TysonsGiftHealing.com. That's TysonsGiftHealing.com.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Be the Change Radio. I'm your host, Kristina Bloom. It is 35 minutes past the hour, and we are here with Lynda Hope, who is just, wow, she's all delight and love. I'm really loving this. This is awesome. We have talked about two of Lynda's websites. sometimes the letters just get stuck. So, so red leather, yellow leather. All right, here we go. So we have talked about value dash u or -u.com and creativitystory.com. So now we are going to talk about imaginationplusproductions.com.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to hear about this.
Well, I guess you would say Imagination Plus Productions LLC is the holding site for all the other things that we're doing, because I'm with an amazing man, Jeff Cornett, who in his heyday was a rock and roller. I mean, he studied at Juilliard. He's also amazing vocalist, amazing instrumentalist. He plays all kinds of instruments. He wrote original music, but he toured. He even knew Elvis's manager, wanted to represent him in the day. But he's become this amazing, not only is he a wonderful human being and friend, but he's also an amazing producer. And he creates the images that we are doing in our mini series, in our children's series, It's Time for Creativity, and our adult films that we're doing that are satires on life that we're having fun with. What's the problem with Thanksgiving and the real solution. So he's behind the scenes and all that. So Imagination Plus Productions is a name that I had acquired for years and years and years. And it's really, again, talking about creativity. Imagination Plus takes you to a place of knowing you are that creative being. And then we have these productions that we're working on. And also my Imagination Plus owns a building out in Triumph, Illinois, that we're renovating for the performing arts. And it's now, we have a foundation called Allume Foundation that is a 501c3 charity that's going to be focusing in on finding mentors to help children and adults who want to express themselves, who really want to sort of come out into their own, right? To expand their interests in life and to learn from a professional in anything they want to do. And because it's in Triumph, Illinois, my daughter actually and her partner discovered that location and thought, wow, what a great name for Triumph.
That's cool. Yeah. So I didn't even know that was a town in Illinois. And
yeah,
you know, I've been around the state line for a long time. I've never heard about that one. That's cool.
It's 20 minutes from Starved Rock, which is about over 2 million people visit Starved Rock. It's a place where people hike. There's waterfalls. So if you drive 20 minutes up the road to our school, you can have a retreat there. You can, we have a large gym and classrooms. And if it wasn't for my daughter and Adam being there all the time, it's 2 hours away, but it's a great location for retreats and for the community around there, Mendota, Peru, who are seeking places to express themselves creatively, and also for wellness, massage and Reiki and also spiritual services that I'll be offering. Because as a chaplain, I'm looking to do healing services, sweat lodges, whatever we can do. And we have a greenhouse there too. We're growing our own beautiful array of vegetables for the community. So when it's up and running, there'll be concerts, events, places for people to come and just form clubs, maybe any club they want. They can form it and be there and get involved. So
that's awesome. So for the retreats, are you going to have like overnight accommodations and all of that too? Excellent.
Yeah. Big Bear Lodge is there. I think weeks ago there was a big fire out at that lodge. Remember, there were homes that were burned out around that area. But they still have a lot of facilities. We also have Starved Rock Lodge that's there, and for people wanting to come out, it's so peaceful there. It's just acres and acres of just green, lush.
Sounds lovely.
Silence. And owls. My daughter found 2 owls up in the tree 2 days ago.
Oh, how fun.
Screech owls. They're small.
Screech owls. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
Have you heard them yet?
I've not heard them, but she's heard them. Oh yeah.
There's a reason they're called screech owls.
Yeah. They're pretty loud. Pretty
loud. Yeah. That just sounds like an amazing facility. I can't wait to go see it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're invited. We got the plumbing going.
Yay. Yay for plumbing.
Wash your hands now.
Awesome.
Ooh.
That's
miracle.
excellent.
Miracle.
That's excellent. Well, when you buy a school that's been, it's no longer a school, but the building is there and you're renovating it, that's a lot.
Yeah, we really had to look at we've had it for now 3 years.
Okay.
In fact, again, my daughter and our partner found it, and it was originally, it was given up because I guess the kids in the community, there wasn't enough there, but it was given over to an owner who then sold it to somebody who just lived there and didn't do anything with it. And then he defaulted on it and he went back to the bank. And then now we came along at the perfect time. And because we had this vision of a school, because it's always been my desire to bring creativity into a school setting and do it the way I feel is the real way of doing it, which is have fun, kids.
Yeah.
Take some stuff and make something from it. And don't, there's no coloring books here. We're not letting you draw inside the lines. We want you to think outside the box. And, to have that wonderful childlike playfulness again that people forget about, that their inner child wants to express themselves. And this is the way to do it, right? They know how to do it. Just
maybe I should come in and introduce people to the Pleiadians, huh?
I'm sure they'll be very good at art. Hey, wouldn't that be nice?
That would be fun,
right?
Fun to do a channeling there.
Pleiadians and say, have fun.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Get creative. We'll bring them in for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's excellent. Okay, one more website to cover, and that's LyndaHope.com.
Well, yeah.
Which is a beautiful website.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up going to the licensing expo in Vegas a few weeks ago. And we thought, what is the easiest way to really represent the brand? When you take yourself out of the equation of being the person and having an identity about it, it's a lot more open. You can be a lot more playful about things. Because Lynda Hope can be a brand, right? Any name can be a brand.
Yeah.
So if you look at it, you're sort of putting distance anyway as the observer to it. And that's what his life's about anyway, to be a good observer to it and have a broader perspective. So anyway, Lynda Hope is really, this is Lynda Hope's way of expressing herself through her creativity, through her book, through her website, through her various projects. And again, it's just another way for people to access the information in a way that has it all listed.
Right. It's very well organized.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And tell me again the name of the book, because I meant to pop that up here. And
in fact, I'll show you can I share that with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, perfect. I love the screen share. I like to share. Here we go.
I have to get better at describing everything so people on the podcast will know what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's Jackie and Creativity, and I explain. This is our creativity site, and there you see up in the corner. If you go, everybody goes to creativitystory.com. The first page that you see is Creativity and Courage in a little round box, and you can also hear the music. And the music is the song that I wrote. I wrote the music, and that's me singing on it. Imagination you find deep inside your mind. Let it fly so it can touch the sky. Then you see just how rich your life can be. Imagination is there, keep searching everywhere until one day you'll hear it call to you. Then you see just how perfect life can be. It can show you a road never yet explored, teaching you a new way to see. Open the door, let yourself go, try it and set yourself free. Imagination is real, you begin to feel life is just a fantasy away. And has set you free. Set you free. And that's the song, and that was written back in the 80s. And this video that I'm showing you now was put together by a man named Bob Owens that helped us. And I did the illustrations for this, but you can see how old that looks, right? It
Yeah,
very outdated. So, but these were illustrations that I put together and to create a video presentation for NBC. And we were looking to do a movie. We're still looking to do a movie with these characters, and we're getting closer to that possibility. But back then, people were not looking for new concepts, or they didn't know what to do with my characters, right?
right.
Because it's a whole new ballgame. So we to share now. How do I get out of this one? Can I do this? I think I can. Yes. So. And then we were interviewed on a local talk show, and here are other references to how important creativity is in your life. Sir Ken Robinson, who passed away not so long ago, he was British, and he talks about how creativity is more important than intellect. That's his right. Here's Elizabeth Gilbert, and so many other people who really, if you wanted to come on our site, you can see why it's so important to be creative. And then there's these characters of ours here. The book has these characters, and you'll see on this page where you click on the book, you'll hear actually the characters talking.
You give me courage to be who I am, to not be afraid to dream, to strive and to reach those impossible heights, 'cause they're not quite as high as they seem.
And you show me new ways to look at the world, to paint life in colors so bright. You lead me down pathways that you choose to take, the flowers and rainbows of light. Together we make an unbeatable team, the two of us working as one. Without you, my friend, I could not exist, and life wouldn't be any fun. Life wouldn't be any fun.
And that really, the message is so important, right?
Yeah.
It's really so important for everybody to hear that. And now here's fear.
Now that we've got courage in our clutches, creativity will be powerless to prevent me from taking over Jackie. Jackie will be ours, and he'll get to know all of us very well indeed.
So this is
yeah.
I'm just trying to, okay, so is the book available in print?
Yes.
And you get it from your website, Creativity
Yeah,
Story?
you can get it. I would say, Barnes & Noble and Balboa
Okay.
has it, like right here. If you click on it, you can see.
All right.
What I'm not happy about, though, is with Amazon, because Amazon, what is going on with Amazon is that, if I can get back to the creativity thing, Amazon has these people who I don't even know selling my book.
Yeah, they're doing that with my book too, because what happens is that you have it available through a publisher, and anyone who sells books can buy it and resell it.
Right. They're buying and reselling the book, and you're not getting any money from it.
No, you're just getting money from the original purchase of the wholesale purchase.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's anxiety.
Okay.
Now that we've got courage, what do we do?
I think people would really appreciate their anxiety sounding like that. I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
So much fun. And this is jealousy.
Why everyone is making such a fuss over courage. What's so special about courage?
Sounds like the nanny.
Yeah. So it's so much fun to, just say, what emotions am I feeling today, right?
Right.
And how do I witness them and not log on to them? Because
Right.
if we could do that in a way throughout our life and every day and say, look, I'm feeling anxious. Okay, so can I witness it and not feel so claustrophobic around my feelings?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is that. That's not always easy to do, especially when you're first starting out on this journey of awakening. And,
Yep.
it's not always easy to do that. Once we've been in it for a while, like you and I have, we can go, oh, yeah, I can just watch it from the outside and it's fine. Sometimes,
Oh, sure.
I mean, we're still human. So at least I still get caught up in it sometimes. And
Yeah,
then I give
triggered.
myself grace.
Exactly.
I just give myself grace because
Exactly.
I would hope that other people would give each other and themselves grace as well, because you're human. You came here to experience being human,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's part of it.
Right. You got to love all aspects of it, no matter what it is.
Yeah,
Because it's all
sometimes that can be tough.
well, yeah. You say, why is my day going lousy? Well, it's okay. You're just out of balance. Let's how can I get back into balance? Well,
Yeah,
choose love over fear. And then sometimes you say, boy, it sounds good, but how do I do it?
exactly, exactly. So answer that question. How do you do it?
So again, I take a deep breath. I meditate a little bit. I sit and I ask myself, who am I? And I get quiet, because the I am presence is the consciousness that I am is very well established now. It's not like I have to find it anymore. It's already, I know what it is. I already have it. I already am that. For this, knowing it becomes easier for the experience to not be an issue anymore. Okay.
Right.
And I think that, but for people who are not very self-aware, that really don't know their truth, it becomes more of, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
And that's the mind telling you you're stuck.
Yeah.
I think to people who want to start waking up, it's really the first knowing is, I'm not my thoughts. They're just thoughts. They appear and they disappear. And if you watch it, you'll see the thought, like all of a sudden you have a strong thought, I want ice cream, right? Well,
Right.
okay. So you want ice cream. How long does that last? Well, it could last for a while, but if you don't go get the ice cream, it will eventually go away, right? It's not going
Right.
to stay with you,
Eventually.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's not going to stay with you.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like my friend who gets sick. She says, every time I get sick, I think I'll be sick forever. That's just the way I go. And I got to keep reminding her, look, you'll be better soon. She goes, oh, I don't think so. I said, yes, please, trust me. You will not be sick the rest of your life. Okay. But
Right.
we have this tendency of believing it because our mind makes us believe it. And it's only a belief system. A belief is only a belief. It doesn't really hold water, because sometimes, you can change your beliefs, right?
Right.
It's not stable either.
Well, a belief is a thought you think over and over and over
That's
again.
right.
That's
That's
what a
right.
belief is. So,
Exactly.
if
Habituated. Mhm.
yeah, think a different thought, change your belief. And it's we're saying it like it's so easy to do, but for somebody who is just becoming aware, and someone who is just starting to go, I'm not going to keep living this way anymore. That's not okay anymore. I need to
Right.
change things. So for us to say, well, a belief is just a belief. You just change your thoughts. And they're like, what? That can
Right.
be a monstrous thing for somebody who's just starting out, So I think one of the things that I've done with people who are really at that point is think of the opposite thought. And then they really have to put some thought into what is the opposite thought. And
Yeah.
that starts shifting their thinking. That starts shifting where they're focusing. What is the opposite of, I don't know, anger? What's the opposite of depression? What's the opposite of anxiety? And then they start focusing on what is that opposite. And I feel like I probably work with a lot more people who are just getting there than
Mm.
maybe you are at this point.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's also interesting to see, just to experiment sometimes. I'll say,
Mhm.
okay, I know that back in the 70s, I have to say that Wayne Dyer was the one that introduced me to the idea of witnessing your life
Right.
with,
Yeah.
oh, I'm okay, you're okay. I think that was his book.
Yeah.
And he said, imagine yourself as a fly on the wall. So if you can try that for the day
Yeah.
and just pretend you're just witnessing yourself, because it's hysterical, you know, you are funny, you
You
know,
are funny, yes.
really funny, right? And you witness how you're going about in the day,
Mhm.
and from an objective observer,
And
you
I
can,
think that's where people struggle, is being objective when they're observing themselves, because then judgment tends to come in.
yep, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. You'll say, oh, wow, what did I just do? But, so what? The thing
yeah.
is, don't take it personally. What is that book, Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements?
Oh, yeah, it's Four Agreements, one of
Yeah.
my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last one is don't take it personally. I
Yeah.
think also don't look at something and say, how can I not take that personally? Right? When people go, look, I'm a person, I take it personally. Well, you don't have to.
No, it's a choice.
It is a choice.
It's a
Right.
choice. Yeah.
And people say, well, I don't have a choice. You always have a choice. Not making the choice is having a choice.
Mhm.
I didn't have a choice. Yes, you did. You chose not to choose.
Exactly. It was still a choice.
It's still a choice.
Yeah.
Do you want to look at life from a place of half empty, half full, right? That's a choice.
Hmm.
Do you want to elevate your life from a place of a higher understanding of something greater than yourself? I think that there is something, I don't know, Kristina, if you also believe that there is a soul contract, right?
Yeah.
That we come to this place, this lifetime, knowing what obstacles are going to happen within this lifetime, right? And then
Mhm.
we don't remember it, but we agree
Right.
to it in spirit that this is something to help us because we're looking to raise our consciousness, right?
Hmm.
And experience something we haven't experienced, so we can learn our lessons, so we can continue to grow. And there are souls here. We've been here. I don't know how many times I've been here. I'm sure I've been here a lot. And I think I'm finally almost getting there, but not quite, because I don't know if you ever get there all the way anyway. Maybe you do.
Not
But
sure that there's a point to getting there all the way. Then what?
I don't think there's a getting anywhere. I
I
think
don't
it's
think there is either.
remembering, right?
Yeah.
It's a remembering who you really are. Who you are
Mhm.
is one with God. That's the remembering. But the thing
Right.
is, everybody thinks they have a long journey and it's going to take a lifetimes to get there. And I have to say that Mooji, if anybody is listening, write this down, mooji.com. Mooji, listen to
Yeah.
him on YouTube. There's so many teachings of Mooji is all about oneness consciousness, and it's from the Vaya Vedanta practices. It is really amazing, and everybody can understand it because he speaks the language that your soul knows.
Hmm. Yeah.
The stillness, the eternalness, the peace, the love that you already are is already realized. And the only thing that is eclipsing it is your ego mind
Right.
playing with you. That's the play.
100%. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I always find it interesting that we get, this is probably going to sound strange to someone who's not been around this very long, but we get caught up in our humanness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We get seriously caught up in our humanness.
That's it. And
Yeah.
the world is playing that way right now. And
Oh, yeah.
and people are saying, what is happening? And guess what? I think it's the momentum of separation,
Hmm.
because separation never occurred. I have a teacher named Sage, and we're part of the Divine One group. You can find us on Facebook, but it's all about the oneness consciousness. And Sage says, just like in the practices, separation never occurred. which makes certain sense from a person who believes that we're one with God, and that before we came into the body, we were one with God, right? We didn't have this body. We were a soul in harmony with God in spirit, ready to come into this body, right? That's where we were. And in this oneness, we knew it. And then again, separation, if we believe that we're separate from God, that's why people can't find God, because they feel separate from God. They're looking outside themselves for God, universe, source, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But God's within. God is you. You and God are one. You're
Right.
not the God. You're not the supreme being, but you're in harmony with God.
Yeah.
You know, and the essence of God is who you are. And if you're talking outside of God or praying to God outside yourself, saying, "Please, God, I want please bring me a good shiny car or a better house or whatever."
Yeah.
No, it's not outside yourself, you know.
Yeah. It all comes from within. And
Mhm.
it's, as Abraham says, your inner being. Yeah.
Yeah.
Inner being, higher self, to me, it's all the same thing, right? Because our souls,
Mhm.
like maybe that much of our soul actually fits into our body. The rest of it is like everywhere.
Yeah.
Again, you
Yeah.
know?
We're everywhere. I mean, it is expansive. And I think that's where meditation, when I was in I studied at the Institute of Jewish Spirituality, which, you know, as a cantor in a congregation, I really felt there was, I struggled with some of the writings that they portrayed God to be. God,
Okay.
especially during high holy days when they'd say you have to repent and you have the God of was a jealous God or different interpretations of what God was, right?
Mhm.
Angry or and I would look at it and say, no, my God is love.
Yeah.
God is love. And so when people talk about God and interpretations of God, and the name of God in itself is an interpretation, the closest thing that because I read from Torah, I chanted from Torah, I could take the Bible out, and you know that's what part of the cantor it is to do, is to be able to take the scroll of 5 books of Moses and chant it in Hebrew, and I love doing that because the energy of those words, right? The energy was what I was feeling, and the words themselves. The one part of the Bible that was the most important was when when Moses asked God at the burning bush, "What do I call you to the people of Israel?" And God says, "I am that I am."
Mhm.
Ehiyah Asher Ehiyah, I am that I am. And that popped up out of the page because that I am presence is who we are.
Right.
And when we're in meditation and we're in stillness and quiet, that's where God is. And so when you can meditate from a place of no thought, when you can see, the practice is to just witness those thoughts coming across the screen like a cloud, right? And it
Mhm.
just passes. You just see it passing. But
Right.
you are the stillness. You are centered and in that place of awareness, because as the can the perceiver, can the viewer, the observer be perceived, is the
Right.
question, right? If you
Okay.
can perceive it, sometimes the seeker finds what does Rumi say? When the seeker finds what he's seeking, the seeker disappears, because a seeker is you're seeking from the place that you're seeking. You're seeking
Mhm.
from the place that you're seeking. So you're really you're really it,
Right.
but you
Right.
can't see it. So, you know, it's like it's like the more you're the person with the identity,
Mhm.
you can't see the beingness. It's like a veiled, all right?
Yeah.
But if you are the beingness, you can't see your person. You're not
No.
in the personal identity anymore either.
Right.
You
Right.
can view it, but you're not considering yourself exclusively that anymore. It just is an extension of expression.
Yeah. And I love what you're saying, and I'm relating it to my own experience, not with Judaism, but with Native American spirituality.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Right. And having gone on a vision quest where by the third day on the vision quest, I couldn't even feel my body, much less my awareness of who I was. I was just observing. I was just there, what literally felt one with all beings, with everything. And when I went on that vision quest, it was, I want to say 19, no, it wasn't even that long, maybe 13 days after the World Trade Center incident.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I had kind of that unique experience where I was able to feel one with everyone all at once. And that was, wow, that was mind blowing, amazing to be able to do that and to have a different experience than what a good portion of at least the United States was experiencing at that point, and others around the world too, I'm sure. But yeah, I was relating to what you were saying with that because it sounded exactly like my experience of I'm the observer, I can't see myself.
That's right. That's right. And I would be on these week-long silent retreats, and it was like amazing. They had us do 16 months of these. And after the third day, when your mind starts to quiet down, because you're not supposed to do social interaction, you're not supposed to talk to anybody, you're not even looking at anybody's eyes because you don't want to disturb their silence or have them, because sometimes you can look at somebody's eyes and your judgment comes in, your mind says, "Are they looking at me?" or "Do I look funny?" Yeah. And so, but you seem to be moving, even though there's a lot of people, you're sort of quietly just in their space, but not even contacting. It's an interesting feeling. And your mind quiets down and your thought, it's sort of like that thing that you shake up, what is it? A snowball?
Snowball. Yeah.
You shake it up, right? And you see all the snow, and then all of a sudden the snow lands in this thing, and all of a sudden you see a little house. Right. So it's like your white noise, right? That's what meditation helps you settle, the white noise, so that your thoughts become clearer. You can now see thoughts slowly coming across the screen of perception, right? And viewing it and saying, wow, I see that now. I see how often I have those judgmental thoughts.
Yeah.
Right. And I can see how they are just thoughts. But if you start analyzing the thoughts and criticizing the thoughts and blaming yourself for those thoughts and saying, what a terrible person I am because I'm thinking those thoughts, forget it. You're down the rabbit hole.
Right.
But this is so good to see them, right? Mm-hmm. Because when you see them, you can heal them. When you bring it up to a awareness level, you can forgive yourself for it. You can allow it to pass, not attach to it, and know that you're not that.
Right.
Because you're really the stillness.
Absolutely. The silence is something that I think a lot of people struggle with. A lot of people don't like silence. It can be when you start being alone with yourself, that can be tough sometimes for people.
And we were sort of forced into that with the pandemic, weren't we? We were told to go inside, to be alone with your family. Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah.
Or by yourself. Mm-hmm. And some people really enjoyed it, and some people found it very challenging. We had a lot of people saying, wow, I didn't know what to do with myself. But then the good part was I was more with my family. We bonded more. Yeah. We played games more. We did things. Mm-hmm. We didn't have to travel far. We used our time better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot comes from the stillness. Like you said, yeah, people don't like to be by themselves because then they have to see their thoughts,
Right.
and they don't
Right.
know what to do necessarily with them. So we would recommend that don't attach yourself to them. Just
Right.
know that they're thoughts. They're going to come. They're going to go. Watch them come and go. And then know that the stillness that you are is the truth of who you are. Because I didn't know that. I mean, I had gone through, Jesus, maybe 8 or 10 of these week-long retreats, feeling an ephemeral high for about a week and a half, right? Feeling that oneness that you felt, feeling like, oh, wow, everybody love, 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 love. I love everyone. Everybody loves me.
Yeah.
Then reality kicked in.
I'm going to put reality in quotes.
And that wasn't reality. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I believed in my belief system that was temporary. My belief, my mind, my ego mind said, that's just an ephemeral high you're just having. That's not real life. No. This is real life.
Yeah.
And then I realized the trickiness of that ego mind, because ego doesn't want to be eliminated. It likes to play. It likes to be the top gun. It likes to be controlling your life. It'll do anything to get your attention. And that's why people can't meditate, because as soon as it's like a child, like you're on the phone talking to somebody, a child comes over and wants your attention. That's your ego. Don't be quiet because I'm here. You're not paying attention to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the other thing was, I have never been of the mind that we are to eliminate our ego. I've never been of that mind, because I think our egos I think of them as our personalities. And so if we get rid of our egos, we're all exactly the same. I don't see a point in that. Like,
I don't know if, I think when you look at the ego as, I think that the personality, I mean, we're all individualized. Yes, we all have our own personality, but I think in the pure sense of, I don't think God has an ego, and God is God, and God is expansive, and God is eternal, and God is God, or source, or whatever. I think that if you can view life from a place of equanimity, where nothing is right or wrong, but when you get ego involved, sometimes the ego makes it right and wrong. It lives in duality,
judgment
and comparing mind and sticking, and it gets sticky. It's like a stickiness to it. So I think, to recognize that, well, yeah, it plays a role. It did play a role in that, there is some threat, right? And I have to run from it. It played that fight or flight type thing. But I don't know how really useful it is nowadays, in a lot of ways.
Something to think about.
Yeah, I think, I guess there's a lot of different mixed opinions. Again,
opinions. Yeah.
We have opinions.
Yeah. And just different ways of looking at things too.
And that's all good. It's all beautiful.
Yeah. I like to explore different ways of looking at things.
Yeah. That's creativity, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Do we have anybody on that wants to ask questions? Do we have anybody?
That's a good question. I was actually thinking that earlier, and then I forgot to say it. So if anyone is listening and wants to ask questions, I know Robin is the only one who's checked in on the live stream today, which is a little bit weird, but and I want to apologize to everybody who has ever listened to my show. I didn't even find out about the comment section until last week. So my bad. I apologize. Now I'm paying attention to the comments, and Robin's the only one who's commented.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if somebody has any questions or thoughts that they'd like to share, please hop on and give us your comments. We'd love to bring that in.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. So this is such a pleasure to be on your show and to be sharing. And I think that the real number one reason why I was excited to be here is to spread joy and love, and just to say, let's just keep the love flowing, because if you're not in love, you're in fear. And, I don't think I think love's opposite is fear.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. And so I think the number one thing is if you're feeling conflicted and you're feeling anxious, just allow it to be felt. And, again, I look at the world with the kids, the anxiety level of these kids are very high, having come off COVID and with the masks and protection and not feeling safe. The safety, people are not feeling safe. They're feeling worried about the future. What meditation does, and I would welcome everybody to come to my value site. Again, it's free. It centers you. It allows you first thing in the morning to quiet the mind and to come to a place of stillness where it grounds you in that place where you can then go about your day feeling more inspired and feeling a little bit more joyful. And if that doesn't work for you, turn on some happy music.
Yeah.
And just
do
dance.
something. Yeah.
Just be goofy. Just find a comedy and watch something don't do the news. Turn off that news.
Oh yes, gosh, yes.
Turn it off.
I have
off
not
anything that's
willingly
negative, right?
I have not willingly watched the news in like 20 years. If I happen to be at somebody's house, like my in-laws like to watch the news, and so it's on, but I'm like la 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 la. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. It's because it's all slanted in ways that influence the way we think, and it's just yeah. I'd rather get still and listen to that inner voice.
Yeah, and I sometimes ask Alexa, turn on meditation music. And the music is just so beautiful. It just lifts me up, and it just brings that quietness into the room. And I think it's so healing. They show so many reports on how meditation has helped illness, and because stress is the number one thing, right? We get sick because we're stressed out. We get depressed, where our immune system drops. We get fearful, and then we attract. If we're talking about law of attraction, attraction, energy attracts the same kind of energy, right? So if we're feeling depressed or low, watch during the day. Just observe your life. If you're feeling out of whack, a lot of wacky things are gonna come into that day. That's like you're gonna have issues.
Exactly. So we are actually, wow, we only have like 12 minutes left. Would you like to share with us
the meditation?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, so for all of you and all the different platforms, I guess that this is on, right? Radio or YouTube or wherever you're watching this as a replay or whatever. Please, just if you want to just sit in a quiet place and turn off your phones and sit in a comfortable chair and uncross your legs and put your hands so nicely and gently in your lap. And turn off anything else that is distracting. And if you can just take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Do that two more times. And out through your mouth. And one more time in. And out. And just scan your body from the bottom of your feet all the way up your legs. Just release any muscle tension to your knees, to your thighs. Relax into your waist. Just sit beautifully, comfortably there. Just relax into the chair and up your back and up the back, around your shoulders. Just relax, let them drop. And have your arms drop nicely into your lap. On your neck, that's doing a beautiful job of holding that head. Just let it relax. Any facial muscles, please just around your mouth, your nose, your eyes, your forehead. Just relax. No place to go, nothing to do. You are here. You are now. You are the I am presence. There's nothing else. And if you see a thought or feel a sensation, just notice it. Just observe that. Allow it to just pass. You are the sky, and that's just a cloud. Just let it pass you by. And I'm going to chant the words, I am that I am, first in Hebrew and then in English, because that is, your essential nature is that. You are eternal, expansive, in a place of holiness and wholeness. And as I chant that, allow that vibration to just wash over you. I am that I am. 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 Hashem, I am that I am. I am that I am. We take another beautiful cleansing breath in and blow it out through your mouth. And we feel into this place of I am, knowing that's our true place in harmony with God, Source, Universe. This is our natural, conscious, very peaceful place of love. And forever knowing this and remembering this is what we are learning as we continue to experience within this time-bound body. that we are timeless and eternal. And we say, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Lynda. That was beautiful. It's been a delight having you on the show. I'm so glad that you were able to make it on short notice. Very much appreciative of that.
It was synchronistic.
It certainly was. It certainly was. Next week, even though it's July 4th, I am going to have a Native American shaman and cartoonist.
Ooh.
Yeah, Patrick Corrigan is going to be joining us next week. So I'm looking forward to chatting with him. I haven't seen him in a few years. It'll be good to see him again. And I hope that you will all join us again. And I hope that you enjoy the replays because this has been a really interesting show. Thank you so much, Lynda.
Thank you. It's my honor. Thank you so much. Love you.
Love you too.
Mm-hmm.